Now, this is what is currently happening right now in Nigeria. Toddlers are amongst 50 school children kidnapped in Nigeria. And mind you, this is not the first time it's happening. This is a regular occurrence. It happens all the time. Because there is a belief that there's some Islamic terrorist groups that are kidnapping children. Why have you not heard about it as much as you've heard about the xenophobia? We need the same energy that Nigerians have been investing in making TikTok videos, shouting to the AU, shouting in their parliament about this, as much as they are making noise about xenophobia. The same xenophobia that doesn't have a single person who's died so far, but they keep creating it. Now you have women and children and toddlers that are being kidnapped in your country. But you are more worried about so-called xenophobia in South Africa when you know very well that week in and week out, South Africans are showing you videos of Nigerian drug dealers running wild in the streets. And you guys want to tell us about African unity. If all these people across the African continent are serious about African unity, let's stand up for these toddlers. Let us stand up for these toddlers. The amount of noise and the amount of videos, the amount of TikToks, the amount of pressure that you are putting on South Africans about so-called xenophobia that doesn't exist because we were marching on the streets. We need that energy right now. That is the energy we need to save these children. And if you don't put in that much energy, then you are hypocrites. You are hypocrites. Because we need to see this African unity, this Pan-Africanism that you always talk about. This one Africa, there's no foreigner in Africa now, because these children need that energy right now more than ever. We need all these governments who are writing letters to our government about fake xenophobia to write to the Nigerian government, to write to the AU, to write to the Pan-Africanism Parliament, write to whoever and talk about this. We need that energy from the United Nations chairperson who was speaking about so-called xenophobia and how bad South Africa is. We need him to come now and talk about this. We need all that money that you keep putting in to keep these refugees and so-called asylum seekers that you keep in South Africa. Use that money to save these little girls. Save these little girls. Because we don't want this double standardness that you guys are doing right now. Now we need your voice. Add your voice. If you are busy making noise about South Africa and xenophobia, make noise about this. We are waiting. We'll help make it trend. Save these toddlers. And these same Nigerian men that had big mouths to talk about South African men being useless, what. One thing I know is that us as South Africans, we would have been out on the streets by now if this was happening in our country. We would have been out in the streets if this was happening in our country. So we want you now to prove yourselves, because you've been running your mouths about South Africa. But you can't keep quiet now if something this big is happening in your country. You can't be invested in South Africa if something this big is happening in your country. So we are demanding that you save these toddlers. And it calls for all of you who are making videos about South Africa to stand up for these toddlers. They did not ask to be born in an African country that cannot protect us. That's why we stand up and protect our country, because this is exactly what we don't want to happen in our country. We don't want this to happen. So you have a responsibility, all of you who are making videos about South Africans, and even those same South Africans who are defending so-called xenophobia, who are calling it Afrophobia, you have a responsibility to speak up about this as much as you are speaking up about xenophobia. Don't do the double standards thing. These children need you. And it's not about proving points here. It's about saving these children. We need that energy. We need that noise that you are making for these children. They didn't ask for this. So stand up and speak up about it.
Jacintha. Or should I say Mrs. Jacintha Ngobose Zuma? Well done. Well done. May God bless you. You see, I just want to bring a good news, to you guys today. That finally, a Nigerian has confirmed what I've been saying about this Jacintha. I told you guys that this lady is not just an inspiration to South Africans. This lady is an inspiration to the entire Africa. And today, a Nigerian youth confirmed it. A blogger, a content creator confirmed it. The things that is happening in Nigeria, now it is even now a South African that they called a xenophobic person. They said she hates Africans, she hates Nigerians. They call her all kinds of names. She is now the one that is bringing that awareness to us of what is happening under our nose. While our bloggers, our hungry bloggers, they keep on going on about what is happening in South Africa and then kept quiet about what is happening behind their own backyard, behind their own nose. I want you to watch this video and hear the Nigerians say it with their mouth.
Video made by Jacintha, who is also leader to March for March, in South Africa, is definitely trending right now. And the reason is being the fact that a lot of Nigerians are beginning to see her for who she is. Jacintha is not who you guys think she is. To be honest, she is soft inside. I saw this video and where she was seen talking about how bitter she broke down in tears. And of course, she talked about the recent kidnapping where they kidnapped over 50 toddlers in Nigeria. To be very honest, I saw this video for the first time on Jacintha's page. It is not on any Nigerian bloggers yet. It is not on any sort of Nigerian news yet. And I was like, when did this happen? I made little few researches here and there, and I found out that whatever thing Jacintha put out there is nothing but the truth. I went to the commission of that video. Lots of Nigerians were applauding her. They were like, see, thank you so much for speaking up for us. That simply means Jacintha is not just fighting against Nigerians or other nationals in their country. She is only fighting to survive. Like, to be honest, you need to watch this video. Like, my love for her increased. I started seeing her as a survivor. I started seeing her as a true Africanist. It takes love for someone to use her platform with her massive following to speak about and condemn the things that is recently happening in Nigeria.
All right, babes, that's it as it hot in Nigeria. You see that Nigerians left what is out there for them. You understand? Not their interest. They are trying to drag South Africa. That is why Jacintha have dig deep down to tell us that. And she have been saying it. She said, Nigerians have problem. Eh? Nigerians have problem. But all our focus is always on South Africans. You understand? So at the end of the day, Nigerians just want the truth. Innocent lives are involved. Emotions are high. And the internet is divided. But what do you think really happened? Comment below, subscribe for more updates, and let's keep the conversation going. Yes, your honest opinion is demanded in the comment section. If you're just joining us new, you are welcome. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to turn on the bell notification so that whenever there is a new update, you'll be the first to be notified. See you on the next one, people. I remain your girl, Linda.